This is QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM. I'm Umutu Kajaga and thank you for joining us. First, here are the headlines. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education released the 2025 Gambia Basic Education Certificate Gabeke results, detailing the nationwide performance of Grade 9 candidates. The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, and with support from the World Bank, presented the 2025 Labour Force Survey on Tuesday. The University of the Gambia hosted the 9th U6 Plus Consortium Annual General Meeting and Conference as part of its Silver Jubilee celebrations, uniting partner universities from across Africa. Today, the 23rd of September, is International Day of Sign Languages, set aside by the United Nations as a unique opportunity to support and protect the linguistic identity and cultural diversity of all deaf people. In international news, world leaders on Monday called for renewed commitment to multilateralism and the founding principles of the UN Charter during a special General Assembly session marking the United Nations 80th anniversary. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education announced the release of the 2025 Gambia Basic Education Certificate Gabeke results, outlining the performance of Grade 9 candidates nationwide. Ma'am Nabuka has the rest of that story.
The results were received from the West African Examination Council on September 18, 2025, showing that a total of 31,734 candidates were registered for the exams. Of these, 29,085, roughly 94.1%, have been fully processed and officially released. The results of the remaining 5.9% of candidates are currently being finalized to ensure complete and accurate reporting, primarily due to pending continuous assessments, course submissions, and routine technical verifications. Female students led the exam participation by 60.2%, and male candidates comprised the remaining 39.8%. Dr. Habibatu Drame, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, shared the outcome of the students' participation in the exams.
This year, a total of 15,607 candidates nationwide achieved an aggregate score of 42 or better in the Gabeke, marking a continued improvement from 14,761 candidates in 2024. While both gender achieve higher success rates, female students remain the majority, both in overall enrollment and among those attaining credible scores.
Madam Drame also shared students' performance in the core Gabeke subjects, English, mathematics, science, and social and environmental studies.
Science saw continued gain with 9,270 candidates achieving credit grade scores, slightly exceeding the 2024 figures, while SES maintained strong credit performance with 12,502 candidates meeting this standard. English and mathematics also showed solid results, with roughly 5,800 to 5,900 students achieving credit level passes in each subject in 2025.
Here is Minister Drame's announcement of this year's top scorers.
This year, 60 students achieved the highest possible aggregate score of 6 in the Gabeke, underscoring continued academic excellence among upper basic students in the Gambia. Female students lead this elite cohort with 42 of the 60 top scorers, nearly 70% being girls. The remaining 18 top scorers are boys, accounting for 30% of this distinguished group.
Dr. Drame mentioned some of the schools that produced the highest number of top scorers.
Mansakuli Bojang Upper Basic School led with the largest number of top scorers, contributing 13 students. Gambia Methodist Academy with 6 students. St. Peter's Upper Basic with 5 students, and Anna Marie River School with 4.
The ministry noted that the overall distribution of aggregate scores for the 2025 Gabeke results shows a positive shift towards higher performance compared to 2024. MOPSI reaffirmed its commitment to sustaining this progress in the coming years. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
The Gambia Bureau of Statistics, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, and with support from the World Bank, presented the 2025 Labour Force Survey on Tuesday. Parker Basuso reports.
This survey offers up-to-date data on employment, underemployment, and other labour market indicators, helping policymakers, businesses, and investors make informed decisions. It highlights workforce trends, economic participation across regions and demographics, and areas requiring targeted interventions. Nyakasi MB Sanyang, the Statistician General, emphasized the importance of reliable and timely data in guiding effective policy formulation.
We have seen that the labor force is expanding, with its participation rate rising from 43.6% to 47.1%, and employment increasing by over 56,000. But we have also seen signs of structural pressure, that is, youth unemployment has risen. The share of population outside the labor force remains significant, and informality remains widespread.
The Director of Employment, Faba Jame, and Senior Economics at the World Bank, Moritz Meyer, described the 2025 Labour Force Survey as a crucial milestone for guiding policy decisions.
The Labour Force Survey in the Gambia will update our information on a broad set of indicators which are essential for data-driven and evidence-based decision-making. More specifically, the Labour Force Survey will provide information on the share of the population being employed, the share of the population being unemployed.
The evidence they have produced will be instrumental in informing government decision-making, particularly within the employment sector. This latest survey confirms that the Gambia labor market is undergoing meaningful change.
The Gambia's working-age population grew to 1.43 million in 2025, with the labor force expanding by 10.8% to 675,470. Employment rose to 619,620, and participation increased to 47.1%, though unemployment edged up slightly to 8.3%, highlighting persistent challenges in informality and youth employment. The share of women in managerial roles declined from 36.1% to 28.1% between 2022-2023 and 2025, underscoring ongoing barriers to female leadership. Meanwhile, persons with disabilities continue to face significant exclusion from the labor market.
So we encourage that institutions from government and non-governmental organizations, the private sector, everyone to use this information.
The 2025 Labour Force Survey offers essential insights into the Gambia's workforce, informing policy, addressing employment challenges, and supporting inclusive strategies for economic growth, gender equality, and opportunities for all citizens. For QTV News, Parker Basuso.
The University of the Gambia, UTG, has convened the 9th U6 Plus Consortium Annual General Meeting and Conference as part of its Silver Jubilee celebrations, bringing together partner universities to reflect on progress, challenges and future opportunities for Africa's higher education. Yafatu Gay attended the opening, and here is her report.
The conference brings together more than 120 scholars, leaders and experts across Africa and the Gambia for 3 days of dialogue, collaboration and knowledge exchange. The gathering themed celebrating achievements, addressing challenges and envisioning brighter futures for Africa coincides with the UTG's 25th anniversary, highlighting the university's progress, while reflecting on the challenges and opportunities facing African higher education. Professor Herbert Robinson, Vice-Chancellor of the UTG, and Per Gomez, Minister for Higher Education, emphasized that the meeting reflects the power of African universities working together.
Undertaking research and the exchange of research, exchange of findings to solve problems our societies are faced with is critical. In fact, research is the lifeblood of our universities.
Our universities must not only produce graduates who do well for themselves, but also research that does good for our communities and our continent.
The U6 Plus Consortium, a network of universities spanning West, East and Southern Africa, was launched in 2012 at the University of Ironi, Nigeria. As a member of the alliance, UTG continues to strengthen ties with peer institutions that advance Africa's academic and development agenda. Among delegates are Dr. Robert Akinde Ayoyemi from the Federal University of Technology Akure in Nigeria, and Professor Marshall Sheldon from the Cape Town Peninsula University of Technology in South Africa.
Well, the gathering is the one for academia throughout Africa to rub minds together about the challenges we have in Africa, and this has to do with the challenges of technology, the global warming, environment, research and collaboration, including artificial intelligence.
So I think, as we know, the continent is facing a range of different challenges, and the purpose of the conference is to look at all the various challenges that we're facing as a continent, and to collectively as a consortium look at how we can assist between the different countries to address those challenges by using the strengths, using the intellectual property, using the knowledge and the skills from the different institutions to help each other address the challenges within the different countries and collectively then as a country.
Throughout the conference, participants are taking part in insightful discussions, strategic workshops and networking sessions focused on practical solutions to key higher education challenges, including quality assurance, innovation, access and sustainable partnerships. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafat Gay.
From that report, we will now go for a commercial break, and when we return, we still have national and international news. Do stay tuned.
immunisation baa ñàkku mooy li gën a wóor te dal xel ci aar xale yi ci feebar mbaa jàngoro yu mel ni ngas ñu naan ko measles, feebaru saxat su bon si di tuberculosis, polio, feebari sedda ñu naan ko pneumonia, cervical cancer, tétanos ak yeneeni jàngoro. xale bu juddu dafa soxla ay péngu si saasi mbaa bés bu mu juddu, maanaam balaa mooy am 20 waxtu ak ñeent. am na solo lool xale yi mbaa tuut tànk yi góor ak jigéen jël péngu yiñ leen tegtal ci waxtu bu ñu ko war a jëlee comme ni ñu ko bindee ci seen kayiti noosi mbaa infant welfare card. xale yépp war nañoo am bépp péngu bu ñu soxla, bokk na ci xale yi laago yi. xale yi war nañoo jël te matal bépp péngu bu ñu war a am ci seeni njëlbeeni at ak ay yeneeni péngu bu ñu duggee ci seen ñaareeli at. am na ci péngu yoo xam ne xale yi dinañu ko jël ay yooni yoon ngir gën leen a mun a aar. ñuy ñaax waajuri ak ñi yore xale yi di leen toppatoo ne saa yu ñuy dem lopitaan ñu yóbbaale kayti noosi xale yi mbaa infant welfare card ngir am lu wóor ci mbir immunisation bi mbaa ñàkku xale yi mun ngeen a dem ci bérébu fajeekaay bi leen gën a jege. xibaar bii ñi leen ko indil mooy waa Ministry of Health ànd ak UNICEF, Gavi, WHO ak seen yeneeni naataango.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25 Cs. Yes! Recharge $25 Cs and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Today, the 23rd of September, is International Day of Sign Languages, set aside by the United Nations as a unique opportunity to support and protect the linguistic identity and cultural diversity of all deaf people and other sign language users. More with Yafatu Gay.
International Day of Sign Languages was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 2017 to raise awareness about the importance of sign languages in the full realization of the human rights of deaf people. The date commemorates the founding of the World Federation of the Deaf in 1951. The 2025 theme is No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights, emphasizing the need for full participation and dignity for the deaf community. The Gambia Association of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, established in 1992, is a national body dedicated to advancing the rights and welfare of deaf people in the Gambia. Lamin Sonko is recognized as one of the finest sign language interpreters in the Gambia.
I became sign language interpreter because of my friend Katim Jawla. We grew up together. We do stuff together. He taught me basic signs before I even started the formal interpreter training. And then I joined the Gambia Association for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and I began training in 2011 and became a sign language interpreter in 2013.
St. John's School for the Deaf, located along the MDI Road in Kanifing Municipality, was founded to provide deaf children with access to quality education. Former Principal Daniel Mendy recounts how the school was established.
The school started in 1978. That was in the Mission House in Banjul, Hagan Street. This was where one missionary, an Irishman, took to the plight of wanting to help one deaf child communicate. And sooner or later, when the people that also have children that were affected by virtue of the fact that they have difficulty speaking, they also started bringing their own. And this was what exactly brought about the existence of the School for the Deaf. And then we saw the need to develop some kind of sign-supported language.
The World Federation of the Deaf reports that over 70 million people worldwide are deaf, with more than 80% living in developing countries. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatu Gay.
The National Environment Agency, in collaboration with the West Africa Coastal Areas Program, marked International Coastal Cleanup Day by clearing waste from Gambia's coastlines and beaches. Ma'am Nabuka covered the event, and this is our report.
This significant initiative, which kicked off at the Gunjur Fish Landing site, brought together volunteers, including local community members, environmental activists, and government officials to participate in this vital environmental effort, aimed at preserving the ecological integrity of the Gambia's coastlines and raising awareness about the detrimental effects of plastic pollution and improper waste management practices on marine life and coastal ecosystems. As part of a global effort to combat marine pollution, the event brought participants to multiple locations including Katong, Banjul, Bara, Bakau, and Tangi, where they worked tirelessly to remove waste from beaches and coastal areas. Volunteers collected an impressive amount of debris, including plastic bottles, food wrappers, and fishing nets, which pose significant threats to marine biodiversity. Dauda A. Baji, the executive director of the NEA, highlighted the importance of education and community engagement in addressing the root causes of pollution.
If you go to the market, supermarket, even they give you a toothpaste, you put it in a plastic bag. Then you can put it in your purse and go. And who do you expect to clear that one? Maybe KMC, Brikama Area Council, or NEA. And in fact, we are not responsible for cleaning the street by way of our mandate, but we want to see that the place is clean. But collective effort will help us to move forward. I think the talking is too much. We need action. And then don't think that I have to get a lot of people to start doing the good thing. Other people will follow you. Don't wait for the crowd.
Sana Dahaba, the executive director of the Gambia's National Disaster Management Agency, noted that such cleanup efforts can help address the country's major environmental challenges.
As we all know, climate change is causing a lot of problems, and as National Disaster Management Agency, our focus of attention is the impact of climate change. I think that's what affects us more. The Gambia is a coastal zone, and what we would want to see is the regulation of coastal zone. I think that's what has been the missing link. We want to associate ourselves with this event, and we also continue to collaborate with other institutions so that we can collectively fight the impact of climate change in this country.
Boubacar Zaidi Jallo, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, highlighted the various benefits that are derived from the ocean and emphasized the importance of protecting it.
We get a lot of our fish for sustenance from the oceans. We also mine it for mineral resources. We also use it for transport, and it plays a key role that we don't normally pay attention to, which is that it controls our weather system. As Gambians, these are the resources that we've been blessed with, and if we want our children and our grandchildren to be able to enjoy it equally, which aligns with the definition of sustainable development, I think we need to take a very strong step in making sure that what we have today, our children and our grandchildren can enjoy it tomorrow.
The NEA and its partners urge the public to join cleanup initiatives and follow anti-littering laws, emphasizing that every small action contributes to the larger goal of a cleaner, healthier environment for all. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
From that story, now to international news. World leaders on Monday called for renewed commitment to multilateralism and the founding principles of the UN Charter during a special General Assembly session marking the United Nations' 80th anniversary. Osman Jatta reports from Beijing, China.
The theme for this year's historic meeting, Better Together, 80 Years and More for Peace, Development and Human Rights, was emphasized in several speeches, as was the need to strengthen the United Nations Charter, which was born from the ruins of war. The 1-hour commemoration mixed with historical reflection with urgent appeals. The UN General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock said the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations comes at a turning point, and UN member states must choose the right path to show the world that they can be better together.
To act where action is hard. To choose dialogue and diplomacy when division is easier.
The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the World Organization's guiding principles are under assault as never before.
We are moving towards a multipolar world, but without strong multilateral institutions, multipolarity has its risks, as Europe learned in the First World War. To meet these challenges, we must not only defend the United Nations, we must strengthen it. And that is the purpose of Agenda 2030, the Pact for the Future and the UN80 initiative, to renew the foundations of international cooperation.
Also addressing the special session, former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and former Norwegian Prime Minister Gro Harlem Brundtland reflected on the UN's role in peace, security, sustainable development and human rights, urging stronger cooperation and action within the multilateral framework. Osman Jatta, QTV News, Beijing, China.
Also in international news, the United Nations has long been a pivotal force in shaping a better world. This year, it celebrates an incredible milestone, 80 years of dedication to fostering peace, advancing human rights and promoting global development. QTV's Osman Jatta takes a closer look at how the UN has transformed the lives of billions worldwide in this report.
For action is here now.
Since its inception in 1945, following the end of the Second World War, the United Nations has worked tirelessly to maintain global peace and security. Through its extensive peacekeeping operations, the UN has intervened in conflict zones around the world, helping to restore stability and facilitating negotiations that have led to peace agreements in regions such as Africa, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe.
The Charter is not self-executing. By design, it requires countries looking beyond their national interests and rebuilding trust and faith in one another and in what we can accomplish through collaboration and solidarity.
The UN has championed global development since the adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. It has guided countries toward reducing poverty, improving education, and promoting gender equality and ensuring access to healthcare for all. Through emergency humanitarian aid in conflict zones and initiatives empowering women and children, the UN has made significant strides in enhancing the lives of vulnerable populations worldwide. The United Nations has also taken a leading role in combating climate change. Through the Paris Agreement and other initiatives, it has brought world leaders together to tackle the most urgent environmental challenges of our time. As the world's foremost climate body, the UN continues to advocate for bold actions to protect the future of our planet. Beyond development and the environment, the UN has been a tireless advocate for human rights. Over the past 8 decades, it has championed the protection of refugees, women, children, and marginalized communities, whether promoting gender equality, combating discrimination, or ensuring justice for all. The United Nations remains steadfast in its commitment to uphold dignity and freedom for every individual. As the United Nations celebrates 80 years, its enduring commitment to peace, development, human rights, and climate action reminds the world that collaboration, compassion, and courage remain essential in building a safer, fairer, and more sustainable future for all. Osman Jata, QTV News, Beijing, China.
Well, that's it for QTV News tonight at this hour, and join us again at 10 for another bulletin. Thank you very much for watching.